Hi everybody, today I'm going to be talking to you about how we draw triangles when we're given sides of a triangle as well as an angle measurement. Before you begin, make sure you're looking at the correct side of the protractor. The easiest way I do determine this is if I look at the top 90-degree angle measurement, if it's facing backwards, I just need to have the protractor facing me so that I can see all the numbers in the correct manner. What's really important is that we know that we're using this bottom ruler bar as the centimeter bar when creating our lines. This question is asking me to draw a triangle with sides of 5 centimeters, 8 centimeters, and a 55-degree angle. I find it easiest to start with the larger line. This is just a personal preference, but it's really up to you how you begin. What's important to indicate is this center dot here. You'll see me refer to this position often. So what I'm going to do to begin is just look at my centimeter measurement here and draw myself an 8 centimeter line. So I line up my paper, try to make my protractor straight, go from 8 down to 1, or I can go 1 to 8. Okay? So now I have a nice 8 centimeter line, and I make sure I label. Now, it's really important for me is I always create a dot at one end of the paper, and that's going to be my focal point. And as I mentioned, protractors here have this positioning hole here so that you can always line up easily your lines. So I'm going to line my protractor up over the line and make sure, and I know I'm in the right place because if I move my protractor, I can always easily have those lines meet as you see there. Okay? It's asking me to draw a 55-degree angle, so I'll find 55, that's in between 50 and 60, and I'm going to draw a nice light dot. I'm not going to actually draw my line yet because I need to draw my second line at 5 centimeters. So I'll move my protractor, I have my angle measurement, and I'm going to line up my protractor with 5 centimeters on my starting line. So I line my 5 centimeters up and I move my protractor so it's lined up with that angle measurement, which just happens to be 5 centimeters away. So that's perfect. So I go ahead and draw my two connecting lines to that specific angle. I know that angle was 55 degrees, so I label it 55 degrees. The line that I just drew was 5 centimeters. So I've made sure I labeled my lines and my angles. If I ever want to double check, I'll place my positioning dot on the line and then remeasure my angle, and it looks like to me it's at 50 to 60, so 55. My next step is I'm going to connect the two lines together using the straight edge of my protractor. So I'll put my pencil down at the end of that line, touch it against that one, and line it up to the other. So I'll go ahead and draw that line straight across. Before I go ahead and worry about angle measurements, I'm just going to use the inside of my protractor to measure how long that line was. So I go ahead, put my pencil on the angle measurement, line it on up, and to me it looks like it's about 6.5 centimeters. My next step is then to find the two missing angles. So I'll draw my angle indication right there. And I'll take my protractor, see where these two lines meet, and I'll place my dot. This makes things easier right at that place that those two angles meet. I'll make sure to line up the edge of my protractor. This line needs to match up to that baseline. And I'm going to ask myself, where approximately does this go? I'm going to say that this is a safe 40 degrees. So I'm going to label that angle 40. Now sometimes when you have an angle like this, it's difficult because you're like, oh, how do I do this? Where do I begin? So this is the case where it's totally okay to turn your paper around. I go ahead and find where the two lines meet at that meeting point. Put the hole with my protractor right over that point. Line up my line so that my baseline is equal to one of these bottom lines here. And I measure on up. So to me, To me, this is not exactly at 90. It's probably, to me, probably maybe 85 degrees. Possibly 85 degrees. I'm going to estimate. So I'm going to draw my angle measurement and do 85 degrees. So now I have the sides lined up, the sides measured, the angles labeled with degree symbols, and what I've created is a triangle with sides of 5 centimeters, 8 centimeters, and a 55-degree angle. When you naturally create that initial angle with the 2 lines, what remains is that third additional side that you have to include in the 2 angle measurements that follow. If you'd like to practice this on your own, you can go ahead and pause the video and you can demonstrate for me how to create a triangle with sides of 3 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and 110-degree angle. This angle is greater than 90 degrees, so it's an obtuse angle, okay? Please feel free to draw this at home for extra practice, and if you have any questions, you can bring in the triangle that you've created, and myself or Miss Almeida can double check it for you. Thank you, and good luck with drawing triangles with given measurements, angles, and sides, and please see us if you have any questions. Take care. Bye-bye.